viewers, and welcome to the eSeniors GT3 Championship for the Group 2 races, being held this week at Snetterton. Just before we get into the action, just want to obviously get our thoughts out there for anybody who's just been watching the European Championships of the Denmark and Finland game, where unfortunately televised quite a severe incident of a player collapsing. I think the television aspects of it were absolutely disgraceful. The good news is the medic teams played an absolute astounding piece of work there and did manage to revive the player. He's since now stable and on his way to hospital, so our thoughts are with Christian Eriksen and his family there, and hopefully he does make a full recovery. It does feel like a Fabrice Muamba situation, which was a player who had the same issue happen in the English Football League. He did make a full recovery, but unfortunately his football career was over. So again, just thoughts with it. It was unfortunate to watch a player receive CPR on a football pitch, and the camera stayed on his wife while he tried to console his wife as she's running down the pitch. So absolute shocking coverage from the Danish television TV rights there, and obviously for the BBC for showing it when they could have gone back to the studio really. So I believe it's affected quite a lot of people. I was quite shocked, found it quite disturbing. It felt really unreal. You know, sport is sport. You expect it in racing. You know, Grosjean last year with the fire in the barriers. But you really don't expect a player fit, young, healthy, just to collapse when they've probably just done the training session, the warm-ups and so on. So, yeah, my thoughts are with them. Obviously, if anything comes through further in relation to that, I will pass that information on. But tonight's all about, obviously, the Group 2 races and trying to get themselves round the very complex Snetterton track, which a lot of people have thought of it as rather difficult, shall we say. That's definitely an understatement. I think it's fair to say. It has been one of the tracks where I think it has caused quite a lot of difficulty. Certainly, you know, some of the races, the GT4s and the Porsche Cup, seen some absolutely outstanding laps in there. But really, you know, there's also been people saying it quite difficult to get round the track in one piece. I made an astounding start on the GT4 and then went off on the third corner, ended up at the back of the grid. My own fault, you know, at the end of the day. It's a very difficult track to pass on. You've got to take your moments and just hope the other drivers respect where you are. So at some point what I'll do is I'll hop on board with somebody and we'll do a lap with someone, and I'll talk you through the track and give you a bit of history around the track as well, although the information I've got on the track is rather limited. A lot of these corners tend to be based around people rather than events and incidents that have happened on the track in the past. I just want to welcome two viewers at the moment. We've got Dave, who's currently sunning himself in Sunny Creek from Sim Racing Elite, and we've got Alessandro De Monte. So welcome to you both. I hope you enjoy the stream, and hopefully it's going to be an exciting bit of racing, shall we say, for the Group 2. I didn't get to see the Group 3 race yesterday, but it does appear that this additional group we've added and taking some of the drivers out of Group 2 has made a big impact. I believe it's quite a clean race, so hopefully we'll have another clean race. There are currently 24 drivers on the server. As a result of that, again, it's going to be quite packed in the first few corners. I do expect it to even out a little bit after the first lap, but still, you know, it's going to be quite... I'm not going to say incident packed because I don't want that for obvious reasons, but I think we're going to see a lot of close racing. A couple of further highs. Andreas. Hi, Andreas. Hope you're okay. KB Smith Gaming. Hi. And Terry. Hi, Terry. I'll try and do my usual commentaries as the race unfolds and try and keep my finger on the pulse of the action. Okay, so what I'm going to do is jump on board from the cockpit perspective with Kev, and what I'll try and do is talk you through the track really, you know, and if there's any issues with the track that I experienced, try and cover them as well. As I said from this, it can be a difficult track, and there you go. As you can see, Kev went straight off there. But I did actually find myself, from an experience perspective, a couple of corners where you can come a cropper quite easily. And again, I don't want to do commentator's curse during the race because I have a habit of doing that, but we'll highlight where them corners are. So KB Smith Gaming, who's your friend? And obviously if there's I need to focus on them, I can do that. So if you can just let us know who your friend is, I'll try and put some views on them if you like. Hi Nikos, welcome to the stream. Stain, okay, so can't see that name. I'm just looking down the list of drivers. I can't see that name at the moment, so I might need a bit more information. Is it Red Nose 58 by any chance? It's the only name I don't recognise on there, so it could actually be Red Nose, Red Nose 58. He did come across as quite quick, so I'm going to assume it's them. Obviously, if I've got that wrong, I apologise, but that's the only name I don't seem to recognise on here. Good evening, Rob. Hope you're well. Cheers, KB. Thanks for that. Okay, so yeah, we're back where we were with Kevin again. Exactly the same point when I said I'll do this lap tour, really. So I'll wait till he gets on the start-finish straight, and I'll give you a quick lap tour of the track. Okay, so he's coming around the final bend, which is Murray's, and he's going to take us onto the centre straight. So this is really where you can get your foot down, and if you've got the speed on the corner, you can take the inside and outbrake the person. Usually you're braking between the first and the bend, which is exactly what he's doing. You can take it close or take it wide, and that takes you into Riches. You're going to brake hard just after the second board into Montreal, keeping as close to the curb as possible, getting the power down gently so you don't spin out, and this will take him to Palmer corner. Okay, again, bit of power on, braking just before the bend, drifting the car into the bend, trail braking into it, and this takes us into Agostini. Quite a difficult corner because you think you can just put the power down, then it comes at you even further again. This next corner, you can cut the edge off quite a bit, and this is Hamilton. And again, you want to drift left and then cut the corner as much as possible as right into Oggies. Perfect, that's exactly how you should be doing it. Carry on round, and you're on Williams now. And then that'll take us onto the Bentley straight, where you can really open the taps up, get your foot down, lean on the gas pedal, bit of heavy weight on it, and go for it. Not necessarily braking hard here, but bringing the car left through Brundle, and then to the right-hander, which is Nelson. That's nice by Kev, that. And then down to the bomb hole. So there is a story with that one. It's called the bomb hole, but it never used to be. I'll explain that one shortly. Then we carry on round the bend into Karam. Back round into the tight left-hander, we can take wide, called Murray's. And then on to start-finish centre straight. Obviously, Kev fluffed his lines for me there. But you know, ultimately that is the lap of it. So I mentioned bomb hole. So Snetterton is based in Norfolk, first of all. It's one of the few tracks that actually wasn't a racetrack to start with. So in the 1920s, 30s and so on, a lot of these tracks become airfields for the war. This was one of these where actually in the early days it started off as an RAF base, an airfield. In 1953 it was used for motorcycling, and a bit of testing was done by some of the cars. And then between the 60s and 70s more and more cars started to use it. It's undergone quite a lot of different changes, and as recently as in 2010 the layout had actually changed, and that was finished construction in 2011, which introduced the inner field section. So the little bit that looks like a paper cutter is the best way to describe it. It's a 2.9 mile circuit, which is about 4.7 kilometres. Okay, so bomb hole, obviously with it being an airfield, everybody thought it's got its name from a bomb hole. It wasn't. What happened was, during the bike racing, there used to be quite a dip on one of the bends, and it caught a lot of bikers out, and they always used to call it the bum hole, obviously using a term in England which refers to your backside. Ultimately, they realised that on television they can't use that name because it was classed as profanity, so they started referring to it as the bomb hole. So a bit of trivia there in relation to Snetterton and the track and why it's called the bomb hole rather than the bum hole. Okay, always try to find me facts out, and obviously if anyone can dispute them, I'm more than happy to accept that. So we'll see where it goes. Okay, so at the moment, our friend Mr. Red Nose, can I call him Rudolph, perhaps? I don't know. Don't know him well enough yet. He's currently in pole with a 1:48.069, which is a very quick time. He's closely followed by Stevens, and then Van Vassenhove, Berger and Schaefer are all in the 48s. So there's been a lot of practicing going on, and this is why another reason why I'm not racing tomorrow. I've just not been able to practice. I was in the 1:49. Okay, and I was really struggling for the 1:48s. I needed more track time because of family commitments and other things. I've just not had track time to do it. So I'm going to try and do some Paul Ricard tomorrow morning, get myself ready for next week. Again, unfortunately, I've got quite a lot on tomorrow. Got some entertaining to do. So, you know, ultimately, try and enjoy the race tonight. I'll try and watch the race tomorrow, but obviously I won't be streaming it, so I'll watch the official stream. This is being streamed, by the way, on the eSeniors official YouTube channel, so you won't find it on my stream, but it will be on the eSeniors stream. That's something I agreed to do for Jeremy. Obviously, I'm trying to do quite a lot for the group from an administration perspective, and I'm pretty good at technology, and therefore I try and, you know, present everything as well as possible. I think you mentioned before that the stream's at 1080, 60 frames per second. I try to do that for obviously for the benefit yourselves, rather than having in a quite a blurry picture. And you can't hear the difference in your pronunciation, okay? I don't know what you're referring to there. Is that on the bomb hole or the bum hole? B-O compared to B-U. I presume that's what you're referring to, Andreas. I don't know. I'm going to assume that. Okay. So, yeah. I think it's definitely going to be Red Nose 58 who's going to get pole on this. No one's going to be near him. He's going to be significantly up the front. Looking at his times, I think he's definitely going to end up in Group 1. So that is a rude awakening, I will say, because I know Pete today was doing a bit of racing and he got down into the 146s. So, you know, that's quite a quick time. So my accent isn't Manc Dave. My accent's a hybrid. I'm actually from Wigan originally, so and my family's Scouse, so I've got a bit of Scouse in me and a bit of Manc in me. So it's as you can see, it's probably a little different. So I'm nowhere near Watford. Yeah, definitely north of Watford, actually, if you want to say that. So Manchester's definitely north of Watford. Okay, so Kev Forrest is currently in third, and Hugh Van Vassenhove is in fourth. All right, so we're halfway through qualifying. The field is starting to settle down. Let's start looking at the back a little bit. Looks like Mike Deal's struggling. He's currently in the pits. He's not put a lap together yet, so I don't know if he's had something else to do. He's not put a lap in, so perhaps he's going to do the from last to front challenge. I ended up doing that inadvertently GT4 this week, so that's quite exciting to watch. Watching him carve up the field. Good evening, Sean. Don't think I've streamed on the stream tonight, but before. So welcome to the stream, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. So you can see he's really taking this corner quite slow. And sorry, I miss you, Jonathan, as well. Good evening, Jonathan. Thanks for joining the stream. Let's have a look on the field at some of the also runs. So quite a lot of times we've got Mr. Rabando, who implied he wasn't racing, and obviously wasn't being overly fair with us because he is racing, as you can see. So he likes the BMW in it. He also tends to choose them cars. Good evening, Derek. Hope you're well. Thanks for watching the stream. He's currently in 17th place. So we will probably, if he doesn't qualify any faster, we will see him coming through the field. I'm pretty certain of that. As long as he doesn't park up on the side of the track like that. And he's back in the pits. Hi, Stefan. Hope you're well. Yeah, I think, Stefan, when we take heed of what's going on in Group 2 and Group 3. I think it could very well be a bit of adjustment going on. It was good to see yesterday, I think it's fair to say. And obviously, the racing was exceptionally clean. It's bizarre, because I think a lot of people do refer to the back markers of the previous races causing the problems. And I think you guys yesterday in that race proved otherwise. It's probably the faster guys causing the problems and their eagerness to get past. But I think from what I saw of the race yesterday, I think it was very good, and I think it's going to turn out to be a great group. Hi Rob, welcome to the stream. So, Robert Abando's currently got a 150.0 as his best lap, and that's only put him in 17th place. So the breakdown of the field so far is as follows. Position 1 to position 8 are all in the 148s. Malcolm Hutchin is now closing in on Red Nose 58, by the way. He's only 3/10 out of that pole position. We've then got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drivers in the 149s, and then the rest of the drivers are in the 150s or slightly behind that. So obviously I think it's going to be quite close grid. And what I mean by that, cheers Andy, Wigan, Liverpool. No, I didn't say Liverpool, I said my family are from Liverpool. That doesn't make me from Liverpool, but yeah, I've got Scouse in there. Wigan and Manchester makes it mixed up, and the irony of it is, if I'm with Scousers I go really broad Scouse, if I'm with Mancunians I go really broad Mancunian, and I have no control over it whatsoever. It does cause quite amusement to my son, who's obviously from Manchester, and he can't understand how you can change your twang, shall we say. We're voting on getting Stainer. I do have the administrator password, and I can add ballast and all sorts, so I'm not going to say I'm open to bribes, but if anybody needs slowing down, it can be done. Obviously I'd never do that for obvious reasons, but a set of Corsa competition only does allow you to add don't forget it does ballast, but what it does is it allows you to reduce power on the cars, and it also allows you to instill penalties on people as well. So if I see an accident that's really bad and I had the administration facilities, I could cause a drive-through and they'd be forced to do a drive-through. So I think there's a lot we can start doing if we had the resource with these races. But as you see, if I'm doing a bit of commentary, I can't do the administration side of things, so you'd need a team to do that. That's where the eSeniors have got the guys in on the Sunday, because there's a team of them. Not quite that ballast, Rob. It's usually ballast, car number, then the kg. So ballast one would, at this moment, not affect anybody. It would actually. You would really cheese off Michelle with that ballast one, because you're picking on him. So whatever number you put after that one, it would be Michelle who's getting getting togged, shall we say. Yeah, so Robert's still struggling here. He's not going for any further than the 17th. So who's on a fast lap? Well, it was showing as he was on a fast lap, but not anymore. So Jeremy is currently 3/10 up, 4/10 up, and if he can do this, this could put him into the top 10. He's doing a really good lap here. He's looking like he's in the 148s. So again, obviously been practicing. We can keep it all together. Still got a good portion of the lap to go, so he could make a lot more time on this lap if he wanted to. Yeah, he's. I noticed on a couple of the tracks actually, his lap times have really started pumping up. I don't know if it's because the administration's now starting to be split a bit more. So rather than just him and Michelle, there's a few of us doing it now, and it's giving him more track time. And to be fair, the guys put all the effort in, sort all the servers out for us, get the servers upgraded to allow us to race. So it's only fair they get the same opportunity as us. So I've been more than happy to assist wherever possible. And I know others have offered as well, offered their services. And that's always great to see the group we've got Jeremy's lost all his time. He lost it into that final, the little bit chicane at the end. So who else is on a good time? Mr. Berger is 7/10 up. He's looking like he could be, if he gets this together. Yeah, he's just jumped into second place with a 1:48.1. So he's only 1/10 off Red Nose. I've also got his latest skin, I believe, although that doesn't quite look like it. So I don't know if it's the Aston Martin. Oh, no, it was the Porsche. I think he gave me this morning the Porsche, but I do have his skin anyway. Hi, Craig. Yeah, it was a very tight lap to do a 1:48.1. I must admit. Definitely a degree of jealousy there because I couldn't get out with 1:49s. But as I said, lack of track time. I think I've probably only had an hour and a half on this track, and some of that was racing in the GT4, which obviously is not the GT3 car. So it's a good 10 seconds down on pace. That. We've got yellows on the track at the moment. Yeah, Mr. Wyman, that is. I think he's just spun. Get himself back on the track. Yeah, 763 is definitely Mr. Wyman. Who else have we got? Quite a few cars just reside in the pit now. Mr. Howard's not doing too bad. He's 4/10 up. He's now half a second up. He's getting faster. He's looking like he could get into the 1:48s here as well if he can keep it together. Again, he's still in a very early part of the lap. Yeah, he's half a second up on this bend. He needs to try and get this. He's starting to lose a bit of time. He must have had a bad exit from that last corner. He's still 3/10 up though. He's losing a bit more time. Has he scratched it all? No. He's took that corner really well. That's put him 6/10 up. He gained nearly half a second out of that one corner. Just goes to show that a little bit of driving here and there. In one oh dear. You could see the back end go there. Yeah, that's not going to brush out, is it? That was a shame that he was on a really good lap as well. He was on a 1:48.5, which is an utter shame. Kev Forrest is currently up. Kev Forrest is potentially here on pole. If he can keep this together, he's going to take pole. Or if he's not, he's going to be damn close to it. He's just lost a little bit of time. He's still 2/10 up. He's 3/10 off pole. Yeah, he's losing a bit of time here. Now he's made it. Has he done it? Oh, he's done a cracking job through there. He scratched it on the end. He's had to brake too much. He's lost all his time. He was on a really decent lap as well. What a shame. There's not much between. There's 3 drivers within a 10th of each other. Yeah, he lost time there. Has he gone any faster though, ever so slightly? No, he hasn't. So he did lose time there, unfortunately, for Scottish Pasty Racing. No one else is. Mr. Parks is on quite a quick lap. He's down at the moment in last place on the grid, but he's 0.7 of a second up here. That will take him into the 152s. It still will leave him at the back of the grid. But it's good to see these drivers still going at it and giving it a try. At all costs, they still do race. They don't get disheartened and decide to quit. They do carry on. I think one of the good examples of that is Willie. He got frustrated with his new kit, got it all together, and his lap times are really coming together now. And you see him on the track, and his lines are brilliant. His braking points are okay. It's just little things he just needs more confidence in to do, but I'm sure he's definitely going to be pumping up this Group 2 league very, very soon, because you can just see the improvements he's making, which is fantastic. So Mr. Parks there took nearly a second off his time. Yep, so Jeremy's jumped up to 9th place now. He's now in the pits. I'm trying to watch who's currently running quick. Kev Forrest was going quick, but he's lost it again. Malcolm's on track. He's currently 2/10 up. Now with that time, that could put him in second. If he can eke another 10th out of that, that will put him on pole. Good evening, Steve. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for watching. Yeah, he's just lost scraped a bit of time there. Yeah, I think he needs to get a corner to benefit him here, because I think he's stuck at the 148s, 3s here. So we've got 3 minutes left to go. Yeah, I can't see any of the top three looking like they're going for a flying lap anymore. There's only Malcolm, who is quicker, but I don't think it's going to do anything on the grid at this point in time. Yeah, he's lost time. Michelle's going quicker. It looks like he's going to go into the 148s if he can keep his lap together. I'll jump to Michelle. I don't think he's going to make any time here, Malcolm. Let's just have a look. Yeah, Malcolm didn't make any time. Let's just jump on board with Michelle. Let's see how Michelle's running. Again, he's lost a bit of time as I jump to him. He's still looking like he's going to get into the 148s. This could take him in front of Jeremy. So the two main admins fighting well. And Don Queen, who's in 10th, just in front of Michelle, is 4/10ths up. So Michelle lost some time in that last portion of the track, and he's scratched it all. So Don Queen, looking like he was doing really well. He's just lost a lot of time, but he's still 3/10ths up. I've got my eye on Rainer Berger. He's currently in second, and he's 1/10th up. He was 3/10ths up. He's lost it all. So that was looking like he was. He could have took pole if he'd have kept the lap together. Don's still doing well. He was 3/10ths up. This will take him probably to 6th or 7th place if he can hold it together. So the important bits, these next couple of corners coming up. Didn't come round. He's still going well. Yeah, he's lost a bit there and a bit there. He's made it back. He's made that back handsome by the looks of it. This is looking like it could be a tidy time if he can keep it together. Just got to get the side of this corner right here. Keep the power, just gently throttling it round and then start braking into the left-hander. Cut the corner as much as you can without the curb. You always got that spot on. This is going to be a good time. You could go up to 6th here. He's gone to 7th. So that took him up to 7th place. That's a really good lap, that. Okay, I don't think we've got any of the top drivers out at the moment on flying laps. Terry Howard's half a second up. So he's coming to halfway through the track now. This could take him, looking at his time, this could take him to 7th or 8th. He's just lost a little bit there, so he's probably looking at 9th or 10th now, but it could take him into the top 10. If he can get this corner right. I think he took the angle a bit too tight there. He's managed it through the corner though. He's kept the power down. Put a lot of power in here. He's half a second up now. Can he get this bit of the corner right? Quite a bit of pace through there. He's not scrubbing it either. Took that well. Yeah, he's going to be in 8th place, I reckon, here, just in front of Kai. No, he could be 7th. 7th place. He's just managed to take Don. So again, another exceptional good lap. Right, I'm just going to jump forward to Mr. Forrest. Mr. Forrest is 3/10ths up, and Malcolm behind him is half a second up. Let's jump on with Malcolm, because Malcolm's going to cross the line first. This will put Malcolm, I think, in pole. He's lost a bit there, but it would have put him on with a 147. Coming to the end of the lap now. He's going to be close. Oh, he's scratched time there. He's lost a lot of time. No, I think he's not done much there now. Let's jump back with Kev. Kev's 3/10ths up. If he carries on here, he's close if he gets second. Yeah, he's definitely in second place at the moment. If he can get this lap down. Oh, he's gone pole. A 147.9. That's the pole position lap. He's took it right at the end. Absolutely fantastic, that. Really, really good doing that. Whew. Certainly interesting, that. What I'll do is do a bit of a grid countdown for you. I'll go to the Helicam view and I'll jump up the little field a little bit. So in pole we've got Kevin Forrest. Then we've got Red Nose 58, or Stein as the name appears to be. We've got Rainer Berger in third place, Malcolm Hutchinson in fourth, Hugh van Vassenhove, Mark Stevens, Terry Howard, Don Queen, Kai Schaefer and Bruce Hopkins bringing up the top 10. Jeremy Arabas, Michelle Benshea, Jack Jacobs, who's currently in the pits, Lee Ellis, Daniel Britos, Mike Dearlove, Peter LaFrance, Uwe Tholen, Robert Abando, Thierry Ars and Harrison Nolan bringing up the 20 in the field. Then behind them we've got Mark Wyman, Melvin Garland, Willie Owens and James Park. So that is the field. I'm going to keep the view on this as a start point and just see where it goes. And I can see Nikos is referring to the angry tree at the end of the first straight lap as you go around the bend. It looks like it's putting its hands up to you. What I will do is in one of the laps later when we're inside a car, I'll point it out in case you're unaware of it. But it's called the mad tree, or the angry tree, whatever you term it as. A bit of jockeying going on here. Quite a few eager drivers, I think it's fair to say. Just going to jump back to fourth. Just easy onto the power. And it's lights out and away we go. And they're off. Okay, let's see if we can negotiate the first couple of bends. This first bend's quite easy because it's quite a wide one. That said, you know, incidents can still happen. It's this next bend where the problems tend to arise, with it being a hairpin and really tight on the braking zone. People brake late. The first lot have managed to negotiate it a little bit. There has been a contact. Car 66 and car 16. So Kevin Rednose did touch. But there's nothing to worry about. There's been Mark Wyman's had a bit of a problem at the back. And car 420 and 15 have had a bit of contact as well. So 420 is right down at the bottom, and that was Robert Abando. So he's getting himself going again. And that's Malcolm. Looks like Malcolm's gone wide, so he's going to struggle for a safe rejoin here. It's going to put him right down the grid a little bit, that. Yeah, that's put him down into 9th place, so he's going to have to do a bit of battling. Should be interesting to see where this actually comes from and how he manages to get through the field. But 5 incidents in the first 20 seconds. I've seen worse. I wish I could say I've seen better, but it's probably not the case. So Malcolm's now under pressure from Bruce. I will expect Malcolm to pull away a little bit though, because once he's got his tyres warmed up. I'm just going to jump forward a little bit with Kai and sit in the middle of these three here. So Kai's got Don in front of him in the white and black Ferrari. And he's got Terry Howard behind him in the white and red Ferrari, so he's definitely got a Ferrari sandwich going on there. And Kai's team's called the Shepherd's Prayer. I'm sure there's some logic and logistics in that. I'm not going to search for that because I don't know what it's going to come back with. So at the end of the... What is the first lap? We've got Kev Forrest up front. And we've got Red Nose in second place, Mr. Steen. Obviously his name's on the board there, but I've got it down here as Red Nose. Red Nose Steen, I presume that's going to be. We've got Mr. Berger in third place, Stevens in fourth, and Van Vassenhove in fifth, and Queen in sixth. And then we've got, obviously we're watching at the moment, we are watching Mr. Schaefer. This track's a bit funny because the first lap and a half, you're still trying to get your tyres up to speed. And you know, if you go too aggressive, you will go off. But once you realise, once they get to the straight, the Bentley straight, your tyres are more or less up to temperature then. So I think we'll start seeing a bit more aggression in the racing and people going for them. Not necessarily dives down the inside, but you know, from a bit of racing's perspective, a bit more zest in the way they go for it. So I'm just looking at the splits now, and you know, you've got Mr. Howard is coming up on Kai, and he is catching Kai. So let's see what I'm going to keep an eye on Malcolm as well behind. Yeah, he's bunched right up there, so I think someone's broke a little bit early there, and it's just caused a bit of a, you know, that oh, that was very close there. Nearly clipped the back of Kai. Luckily, Kai's managed to keep it on the island. That was definitely a brown pants moment there, I should imagine, for Terry. But he kept it together. Fair dues to Terry. If Kai can get settled now. So much for me saying the tyres should be okay. I will say that corner where Kai got loose. And we'll ride on board with Terry unless there's action elsewhere. And I'll explain what I mean. So you can see there, Don's gone a bit wide. He's lost the back end. And that's give Terry... So the angry tree is up there in front. You can see its arm sticking up in the air. That's the angry tree. Okay. Terry's doing well here now. Yeah, definitely Cole Brown. Definitely Cole Brown. So I'm expecting Terry to put a bit of pressure on Hugh here. Mr. Van Hassenhove. I call him Hugh now because I asked him how his name was pronounced. Because he always said, why don't I pronounce his name? I said, because I don't know how to. Anyway, he explained to me how to pronounce it. So it's Hughes or Hugh. If anybody's wanting to know that. I'm all for the education. Okay, he's took that corner well there. He is gaining on these two in front. I think Terry's gonna do well here. I bet he's got his car set up for race rather than for quali. Although the gap in front is quite tasty as well. So I'm just gonna jump in. Change the angle a little bit. So that corner they've just gone round. If you clip the curb as you go into the corner with your back wheel, it can cause the back end to slap out on you onto the grass on the following corner. And it's a proper, that's it, you're on the field if you do that. So it's all about not trying to be greedy on that corner and just take enough. Yeah, Howard, Terry's definitely gaining. This is where the action's at the moment. There's currently no incidents report. The field is now stretched. We're half the track. So Terry's managed to take him there. So again, it looked like Hugh managed to get a bit of a bad drive out that last corner. And Howard's really going for it now. And that's put him into 5th place. And he's only 1 second behind Mr. Stevens in front. For those who remember last week, Mr. Stevens was the one who ended up getting took out by Ellis when Ellis had the flying car. And I remember on the stream going past and he was facing the wrong way. I think his race shortly ended after that. He ended up joining the stream, but I don't think he was too happy what had gone on. Ellis with the flying car was quite impressive. He seemed to be everywhere but on the track. So the gap's still at 1.4 here. Kai's closed up a little bit on Hugh. It's quite a close piece of running going on there. Yeah, he's definitely going for it, Terry, isn't he? You can see here he's got his he's definitely got his racing shoes on, his racing helmet, and he's going for it. Just trying to look at what's going on up front. So the gap up front is still, there's a little bit of a gap between first and second. It looks like Mr. Forrest has managed to hold on to his pole and stretch his legs a little bit, which is good to see. No, Neil, the first lap there was a few incidents, but nothing that was detrimental to what's going on, and certainly the front runners just kept out of trouble. I think Malcolm went wide quite early on. Malcolm was quite high up on the grid. He went wide and has had to start fighting his way through the field, which he's now doing. Kai got loose in one of the corners and he lost a place. So Terry's managed to do quite well in a number of corners quite early on in this race, and you can see now he's putting pressure on Stevens, and I think it's only going to be a matter of time before he does actually catch Stevens in relation to this. Needs a decent drive out of one of the corners, and I think he'll get him on one of the straights or under braking. He does seem to be braking a lot later. Yeah, everyone's definitely behaving on track at the moment. So he's just showing his nose there to let Stevens know he's there. That bit of a feint that drivers do. I'm here, but I'm not going for it. His car's looking really planted though. And you can now see Hutchin is catching behind. So we're just starting to get a few little battles on track now where people are just starting to catch each other up as the tyres and the brakes and everything starts coming together, and obviously start getting a bit of confidence in your race car on the track. You can see Malcolm still behind Hugh, but he's definitely catching there. I think we're going to see a pass here, aren't we, in a minute? He's definitely looking racy. He's very quick through this section, I must say. And as they're both in the Ferraris, obviously the cars are perfectly matched. There's going to be nothing with them. You can do different views, Stefan, but if you change the view, it doesn't update the same, so it's not a true representation on who's the grid, so the split times are the best. The other views we've got are the likes of this one, which I'll show you. No time at all, and that one, but it doesn't update regularly, so the problem you've got with that is you don't know if anybody's passed anybody else, and you don't get to see the gap. That one shows the gap time, but it doesn't update real time. So it's only at each stage of the track, one of the 3 stages, does it update. So again, it's a bit of a false reading. Right, we have had a bit of an incident, so I'm just going to try and find who it is. 67 is... Can I find it? Okay, so there's been a bit of an incident here. Let's see what's gone on. This is Mr. Little France on Mr. Britos. It's looking like a bit of a braking late thing there. Okay. Stop right in the middle of the track. He's doing the gentlemanly thing. We did let Britos back on. He's obviously losing places now because he's got to do a safe rejoin. So that was unfortunate. In relation to that, I'm just going to jump back with Mr. Hutchin. There's been another incident, car 15. Oh, it's reported the same incident, car 67. So yeah, it's come up twice, that one. So Hutchin hasn't passed. He's just started to just lose a bit of space, bit of time now. Car 911. There's been an incident with car 911. Let's see what that's all about. Okay. Very close here. So this is Robert. Oh, he's really lucky there. Looks like he'd almost tried a bump draft. He's lucky he never took him out there. There's been another incident. Hopkins, let's see if it can... It might not let me do this one and rewind this one back. I'm going to see if it'll let me do it. I don't think it's going to let me do it too far back, unfortunately. You can only go so far back within a replay. Is it going to show us? Bruce, yeah, he's losing places. Be abreast. Something's going to go wrong here. That's the contact. Okay, so that's what I do. It obviously picked up on. Did manage to show that one. No, actually, that's another incident. So he's been involved in two, Mr. Hopkins, in a short space of time. Just looking around the grid. It looks like... just trying to see where the action's... Car 68 has gone off. That's Mr. Berger. Let's see what's happened here with Mr. Berger. So Red Nose has took Forest. Forest is really slow here. Forest has got the inside line. He's braking later. Oh, right, okay. And Berger's been involved in another incident, this time with Hutchin. So I wonder if it's an unsafe rejoin. Okay, so I'm going to go back again and just see if I can find out what's gone on here with Hutchin. So where's Hutchin coming round the corner? That all looks fine at the moment. Okay, I mean, from what I saw there, Malcolm's not moved. He's come round the corner, and I think Berger's just come across ever so slightly and tapped him. I mean, as that happened in that respect, Malcolm didn't seem to get any residual impact and suffer from that. So obviously it's interesting if that's going to be relayed later. I do believe Mr. Berger's got trouble with his car though. After that he's got a death wish. Because he does seem to be struggling here. He just doesn't have the power, the drive. So we've got Mr. Howard again. So Howard's dropped down places. So something's going on, and I think a couple of cars have obviously had to take evasive action. Death wish. He's got power on the straight, but you can see Terry's definitely gaining on him. So I don't know if he's just lacking a bit of aero damage, because he did hit that. Good responses there. Oh dear, he's gone deep there. Yeah, I think Mr. Berger's well and truly had enough. Oh, he's gone off. So Mr. Berger's gone wide there. Again, from what I can see. Unfortunately, I can't go back too far, KB Smith. It doesn't let it do that. You only get so much time to do a rewind. So that's why I can only do certain incidents. It doesn't let you go all the way back. If it did, you've got to wait for the replay to finish. So if I went back 2 minutes, we'd have to watch 2 minutes worth of replay. I mean, he's pulling away now, looking at this. I don't know where Kev is in relation to him. He's 10 seconds behind. So he's out on his own. So Kev's in second place, he's out on his own. Just going to jump back with Terry, because Terry was catching Michelle here. I should imagine Terry's in a very good mood as well, because he was doing really well. And something's obviously caused him to drop down the field. And Malcolm, who was battling the field, is now in 5th place. So Malcolm's really come through the field. Oh, that was deep. And that's the sort of thing that will lose your places in a tight group. Just getting your wheel on the grass, braking a split second later. Or the car in front just braking a little bit earlier and you not being aware of it. The car 7's gone off. which is Thierry. He's just recovering now. Not an incident, he's just gone off himself. Okay. A lot of personal bests coming in. There's a lot of 149s running through. So a 149 is the fastest lap at the moment. So someone's really managing to put some pace in. And in fact, Red Nose has done a 148.6, but it has been bettered by Kev Forrest in race trim. So Kev's definitely looking quick, but he's nowhere near him yet. He's 8 seconds off. So if that does get any closer, I will jump to it. Kai's doing really well. I think, you know, Kai himself, he went off before. We saw him go off. And, you know, if you just get your head down and get on with it, you know, it just goes to show you can get on with it. You can recover. So I'm now with Hugh, and Hugh's obviously behind Kai. Been another incident. Car 67, which is Mr. LaFrance again. Let's go back and see what that incident's all about. So this is the second incident he's had, and this was with Lee Ellis. So I've got a feeling Lee, who's in the car behind in the Bentley, has probably braked a little bit late. Yeah, and spun him around. Okay, so so he's done that to somebody else, and now that's been done to him. Third deuce to Lee. Lee's waited and let him come back on the track. Hopefully there's no damage to either car, and they can carry on racing quite decently there. Just going to go back to, let me look at the gaps. Who's getting close on track? So I'm just trying to see where the gaps are at the moment. Let's just jump down the field a little bit. So we've got Harrison here is catching Dearlove. So I'm not sure if Dearlove's passed him, because Dearlove was down towards the back of the track, but you can see there he's gone a little bit wide. Be interesting to see if Nolan's going to catch him here and get a good drive on the straight. You can see he's got a really good drive on the outside, but Mike's got the inside and he's going to drift to the right. That's risky, but he could equally put Dearlove under pressure there for keeping on track. Broke very early there, did Mr. Dearlove. Opened up the inside there. Nolan's got the power down quite well, but I think Dearlove had the wider line, so we could get the power down quicker and higher. Not many battles around the track, to be honest. There's a lot of cars spaced out. The only other battle I can see is Terry, which we were watching a minute ago with Ben Shea, and Willie Owens is having a battle with Peter LaFrance, because obviously Mr. LaFrance has gone off. So at the moment, Willie's chasing down Mark Wyman, and Peter's trying to chase down Willie at the moment. But Willie's on a really good lap. His lap time's looking good. I don't know who's going to catch him. Harrison's back end there just wouldn't come round quick enough for him. You can see him just fighting with that steering wheel just to keep himself on track there. He's keeping Mike in definitely in his window frame here. Yeah, he took that angle really well there compared to Mike. Okay, what else are we looking at? So Pete is now trying to catch at 52. Let's go with Terry. Terry's definitely getting eager on Michelle here. If anything changes further down, I'll let you know. Harrison's still chasing down Mike Dearlove. He's half a second, so I've not got there yet. They seem just to be ebbing and flowing, don't they, these two? The clock just seems to open up, come back down, open up, come back down. Who's the other battle? 763 on the grid. We've got, I'm just going to jump back. I think we've got a bit of a battle going on further down the field. I'm currently on board with Melvin. Let's see where he is in relation to the cars around him. So I think Melvin is chasing down Thierry at this point. And I don't know if Mark Wyman's chasing them both down. The field has split up quite a lot now. 92. Harrison is definitely on the bumper of deal of looking at this. So no, he is in the corners, but out of the corners he's struggling a little bit. But Mark Wyman's definitely giving them pressure here now. Well, let's just jump to the rear view of Garland's car. See if how much Wyman's catching. When I was racing the GT4s on Wednesday, that straight, the toe was fantastic. You could, if you're close enough, you could see your time coming down by the 10th from the car in front. It was quite noticeable, really. Is Wyman going to get him? Wyman seems to brake quite early. I don't know if you saw that in the last corner. Whether that's to make the car, keep the car stable or balanced, I don't know. You can see he's really having a go here. He's defending at the moment, Melvin. You can see he's sticking in the middle of the track. I don't think he'll be outbroken here. I'll switch to on board with Wyman. Okay, just so we can see it from that point of view. Melvin doesn't look like he's catching Thierry, so there's a bit of action here, definitely. Thierry's just fallen a little back from Michel now as well, so he's nearly a second behind. So maybe he's just taking a breather, and we'll go for it again later. Incident counts stabilised a little, shall we say. There's been no incidents for a while, so it's looking quite good. Willie's getting pressure from Peter, which I would expect, but again, Willie's on. He's only one of a few drivers who's actually on a quicker lap than his previous lap. Again, Willie's getting more confidence as he's going around the track. But the best lap times between Peter and Willie are 2 seconds. So I think it will be not too long before Peter takes Willie. So we're on board with Peter at the moment, and that's Willie in front. Unless he's got a damaged car which is causing him a problem, and obviously he's been involved in 2 incidents now as Peter. Let's see how he goes against Willie here. Willie's just gone a little bit wide there. It's going to give Peter a good drive here, but this isn't an overtaking place unless you spin it. So he's just going to have to bide his time and see if he can get a good run out of the final bend onto the straight and see if he can get up the inside of Willie. So Willie took that corner quite tight there, which means he's going to be a bit slow out of it. It should give Peter a really good drive. Willie's making his Ferrari very, very wide there. Yeah, so I think Willie's conceded that place, knowing full well Peter was quite quick. Which is, you know, total respect to Willie. He does that when he realises the driver's quicker than him. He won't fight it because it's just more likely to cause an incident. So Peter's managed to pass him there. Let's see how Harrison's doing. So Harrison's not caught up much with Mike, so I think them two are stuck in a bit of limbo land there, really. Wyman is still giving pressure against Melvin, but again, he's not got enough to get past. So I think in that respect, they're both struggling a little bit, because you can see Melvin's not made any headway. Melvin's gone deep there. I think Matt Wyman's missed his opportunity. That was a cracking opportunity there to take the advantage and come up the inside. He's going to get a good drive out here, though. So who's going to flinch first? He's not got enough. He's braking very early, though. Is he? Yeah. Thought he was going across the grass then. I was going to say that's one way to pass him. Nip and took this one. Yeah, still got Harrison right up with Mike Dearlove now. There's only 2 real battles. There's 3 battles actually at the moment, but This one's by far the closest. Mr. Stein looks like he's absolutely flying up front there. Kai is giving Mr. Forrest a run here. Don't know if Forrest has got trouble with his car, because the times Forrest was putting in were quite fantastic. He's got a good drive here, hasn't he, Mr. Wyman? I think a mistake from either of these is going to cost them. No other changes for position. Harrison's still behind Mr. Dearlove. Yeah, that's the other battle that's going on track at the moment. Who's 216? So 216 is Malcolm. Malcolm's caught up Hugh. So let's go to Malcolm. He's caught up with Hugh van Vassenhove. So I asked him about what Exard Loons represents. He did explain it to me. I'm not going to try and repeat it and remember it. I'm a bit too old now for remembering things like that. But he did explain it to me, which I thought was really nice for him to do that. Any more movements on the track? I'm just looking. No, the gaps with everybody else are still as they were. Again, Terry is close with Michelle, but both of them are on fast laps. So they're definitely keeping each other in check there. He's getting keen, Malcolm here. I think Malcolm's going to go for him in a minute and take it. You can see Kai in the distance as well, so Kai's only 3 seconds upfield and Kev's only 5. So definitely a good opportunity here. He's lost a bit of time there. What's good to see is after about a series of 6 or 7 laps, the incident count's really gone down. Granted, not many people are close together now, so that's half expected. It's a really good point, that, Stefan. I think on the GT4 race it lasted about 2 laps and disappeared into the distance. So again, a lot of respect given to the track here and the track limits. So let's just jump back on board with Terry. Terry's definitely gunning for Michelle here. He's going to go up the inside and brake late, I would imagine. Easy took it. Don't think Michelle's battling. And he's got Mark Stevens on him now as well. I think Stevens is looking quick at this point. I think Stevens is going to try and take a piece of Michelle here as well. I think there's only Michelle who's in the McLaren as well. Yeah, I saw Michelle lift off there. I think Michelle was worried that he weren't going to make the corner and get took out. He's had quite a few incidents recently, Michelle, where he's been taken out. So I think he's erring on the side of caution. He just wants to finish a race without car damage, because I think the last 2 races he's been in, he's ended up in the pits. Oh, he's gone wide there. He's given the place to Mark there. So Mark's managed to gone up a place. Michelle has got back on track, so from that perspective, yeah, he's recovered it. He's sliding that car though, so I don't know if he's got a problem with his tyres there. Okay, so Malcolm's absolutely flying now. He's put his foot down, so he's cut onto this. He's nearly half a second up this lap. So he's obviously made a lot of gains here, so I think we're going to see Malcolm catch shoes up again. You can see they're definitely catching Kai up as well. And Kev's losing time. Kev is definitely losing time to this lot. Kai's only less than 5 seconds off Kev now. He was 8, so he's... I don't know if Kev's got problems with tyres, or if he did go off before when Stein took him, or would that give the place to him? And he went off and stuffed his tyres a little bit. And the funny thing is, both Kev and Malk are both in the Audi. So if there is a problem with the tyres, we'd expect Malcolm to start suffering the same way. But he's not. He seems to be keeping it on the island really well. Apologies, there's 2 drivers in the McLaren. Mr. Parks is currently in last place, and Jeremy. So there's not many picking the McLaren in this sort of series at the moment. I know in the last series of races, the McLaren was used quite a bit by a few different drivers, but it seems a lot of them have decided to go for something else. Yeah, they've definitely reeled Kai in there, and you can see Kev up front. I was going to say they've got a back marker in front of them here, so they're going to come up and lap Parks in a second. So hopefully he's going to let them go. We should be getting the blue flag shortly. Nearly hit him there. Yeah, there's the blue flags. So Kai should go to the left. Mr. Parks should let him go. Kev was slightly faster than Kai that time. Still no Lambo because no one can drive it. Ooh, that was a bit ropey, wasn't it? There, going on there. He's getting blue flags again here, Parks. I think he was a bit unsure what to do in the hairpin. And that compromised Hughes' corner entry there. And it meant Malcolm could catch and gain a little bit more. We get a good drive out here. Oh, you can see, looked like Malcolm was going to cut the corner then. But for some reason, looked like he might have oversteered ever so slightly. He's lost a bit of time there. So the next one onto Michelle is Jeremy, so that'll be interesting if we get to that within 10 minutes. I'm going to jump back down to Wyman, because Wyman is still having a go at Garland here. This battle has been going on for quite a few laps, and they've now got Thierry coming up behind them. Although Thierry was in front, so Thierry's gone off. So they've both gained as a result of Thierry going off track, which obviously it doesn't register track go-offs. So I at no point can I tell you when that happened. The seas are absolutely flying down there. Braking was very late then, was Thierry's. Trying to see what else we can keep an eye on at the moment. Now this is where the fun's at. Oh, 67's gone off. Looks like 67's spun. Should we have a look at what 67's doing? And there's been an incident. So it looks like there's been an incident with Don Queen and a back marker. So Don Queen's coming up to pass Parks on the start and finish straight. He's taking the outside line, which is fine. That's possibly ruined Mr. Queen's race, because as you can see there, Stevens has gone past him as well. Howard and Stevens look like they're going for it here. That was very unfortunate, that. And you can see Queen's now trying to gain back up. Car 7, whoever it was, Thierry's just quit to the pits. Oh no, Thierry has just quit the game. So presume I can't click on him and do a replay on that. So Thierry's quit. So he went off. Looks like there was no incident, but don't know if his car had just give up on him. But he's pressed the delete button and decided to quit it out. So you can see Queen's back on Stevens' case here. There's another bit of battle going on. Ellis is trying to take a bando, but we'll just see if Queen passes here. Wyman's still behind Garland. Ellis is just behind a bando. And the other battle is Jeremy and Michelle. So Jeremy looks like he's giving Michelle a bit of run for his money. Mr. Parks has gone off a couple of times now on the start-finish straight. And he's gone into the pits. So 513 is pitted. I think he's had enough. Let's just jump on board with Jeremy. Because this showed... Oh, maybe it was Hopkins who was catching Jeremy. So situation at the moment is Stein's in first place. I'm not going to say he's being hunted down by Kev because he's not. Been an incident. Car 22. And, right, there's been an incident between Melvin and Mr. Wyman. I think Mr. Wyman's possibly broke late here. Oh, he's gone for the inside. Yeah, that was a diminishing return, wasn't it? He was going for a corner. That really wasn't there, looking at it. So, probably scuppered the race a little bit there for them too. Back to where we were. There was a bit of action going on here. So he's managed to pull away from Don a little bit. I'm just looking at the track. 337. A bit of action going on there, and that looks like it's Ellis against the Bando. God, that's a narrow windscreen, isn't it? Crikey, Charlie. You could be looking out the rear view window with that size of that. Most of the cars have got a great big pane of glass. It's like looking through a sliver. He's got a cracking drive here. He's going to get Robert here. Oh, Robert's managed to keep it going though. That, tell you what, that Beamer's quick. That Beamer absolutely dropped him then. He's either running less downforce, because the engines are supposed to be the same. He's gone really defensive, Robert, though. You can see here how defensive he's going. He's going to lose this. You can just see it in a second. Yeah, I think the Bentley's got the best noise on all the cars. The Merc's not bad, to be fair. But that Bentley is definitely got the nicest sound about it. I think that's what Wyman tried, Dave, was the full send. Unfortunately, the letter didn't fit through the letterbox, so it fell on the floor. Never got delivered. Yeah, he's got a good drive through there. See the different angles the different drivers are taking. Kev's just pumped a decent lap in. Yeah, cheers, Andy. I like that, actually. But do they deliver? That's more to the point. A Bentley driven by postmen, i.e. the letterbox look. But as I say, do they deliver? Pull back a bit now. Let's see who else we can jump on board with. I'm just going to see how Kai's doing. So Kai's still being chased by Hugh. Terry's dropped back a bit there. So a bit of an update on something I mentioned at the beginning of my stream. I don't know if anybody saw the Euro game with Denmark and Finland. Christian Eriksen basically died on the football pitch, and they have successfully managed to resuscitate him. He's stable, he's in hospital, so much so the game has resumed. So it was 20 minutes in when he collapsed. The scenes were quite harrowing, to be fair. I don't know what the Danish media were doing, showing what they showed, but it was disgraceful seeing someone physically dead on a football pitch, starting with fitting and then doing CPR. I just don't know what they were playing at. And as I said, the BBC over in England, absolutely disgraced for not going back to the studio. One of the commentators in the studio was in tears. You know, you're thinking, what are they playing at? So, you know, under the Ofcom rules, the BBC are going to get a right slamming for that, because they're not allowed to show it. And even though the TV rights are with Denmark, it's, you know, ultimately the BBC present them here in England. So consequently, I think the BBC are going to get a bit of a backlash in relation to that. But it's really good news that he's survived. You know, as I said, Fabrice Mwamba was the last person where this happened. Unfortunately, his football career is over. But you know, you don't want to see that in sport. You know, I know there's football rivalries, but at the end of the day, you don't want to see footballers, you know, deceasing on football pitches or just dying in general. You know, they're doing a sport that pays the living. It's a sport they love, they train for, keep themselves ultimately fit. You know, like racing drivers go out on the track every single time, and it could be the last race. You know, if you saw last year the crash with Roman Grosjean going off through the barrier, you know, everyone thought he's dead, and yet miraculously comes through it all. So it's all you know, it's all positive. So thumbs up with that one. Sorry for the you know, bit of the Grim Reaper there, but I think it's interesting just to, you know, make that out there, that sometimes these media companies are a bit of a disgrace. And that's how I certainly felt about it. This is the battle with Wyman again, so you know, this is, I don't think Wyman's going to go for the jump on him anymore. This is the final battle. I'm going to jump on board with Red Nose and or Stein, if that's how you pronounce it, while he does his lap. And you can see he's catching Wyman and Garland up here, so this is going to make it interesting. So he's got another 2 laps to go, I think. Yes, Nikos, I saw that. I'll tell you what, though, he didn't look well at all, understandably. I think the picture was... I don't think personally they should have showed it. They could have just said he was okay. I know why they've showed it, but you can tell by the expression on his face. And it was grey. You know, that picture was a colour picture. There was nothing colourful about him in that picture, and I just think that's quite disheartening, really, to see that someone who's so fit and got so much energy. And, you know, the way they filmed his wife running down the pitch in tears, really upset. What the hell are they playing at? You know, you're almost grieving for someone, and there's a cameraman following you going, God, this is great television. No, it's not great television at all. It's ridiculous. Anyway, back to things more current. Wyman's still having a go with Garland here. No, you're right, Andy. That's exactly right. They put the cover over him, took him away, and then they announced everything later on. The players had to stand round, and there you go. You can see Rudolf Stein has won the race. Congratulations, Rudolf. Absolutely exceptional from start to finish. Kiss goodbye to Group 2, though. I think you're going to be in Group 1 with speed like that. Yeah, I was saying the players having to put a wall barrier around so you can't see the pictures. Come on, what's that all about? And then later they've got the blankets up. I think it shows there's a failing on football sometimes. I mean, there's being prepared and being prepared. It goes to show that really they need that sort of medical stuff all over the pitch so they can quickly bring it on and get things dealt with in a very very safe fashion. Let's just jump back a bit. Harrison's still racing on track. He's coming around the final bend. So a finish of 13th for Harrison. He'll be happy with that. Definitely. Daniel Britos was behind him. And then Rayner, who was very, very promising early on, he unfortunately, he's quit looking at it. So Rayner's decided to not carry on anymore. So I think that got the better of him as well. Had a couple of dropouts, which is a bit disappointing. Thierry and Rayner. James and Peter both ended it in the pits. So a bit disappointing. But anyway, thanks very much for watching my stream. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm sure I will see you on track next week for the GT4, and for the I'll be streaming the Porsche Cup available next week, and hopefully the Group 3 and Group 2 races next week. Thank you, enjoy yourselves everyone, take care.